want to see for myself.
Okay, so for the next match, we have Kurosaki taking on Jerry, and Kurosaki is using Shadow Paladins. The best boy, David.
So this is interesting.
I mean, David and his anime hair really are one of the best starters for Shadow Paladins, like, in general.
Yeah.
The only way that he gets beat is if you have a very specific strategy in mind. Like Cherry's Diablo or using Clarent. By the way, there's Clarent.
Yeah, I think this is sorry. What the now?
Why are there that many mains in the deck?
Why are you running through? Dude. He's asking for mercy. Mom gave him the common courtesy. If he doesn't get it, then I'm like,
I mean,
wait a second. You're playing Shadow. Wait. I have a concern. You're playing Shadow Paladin, but you're running low on grade 1.
I mean, it's kind of like how Neo runs Royal Paladins and can't ride grade 2 sometimes. In fact, it's almost the exact same thing. Please tell me he got rid of 2 mains. Yes, he did.
He got rid of...
He needs to get those out of the deck, because if they're face up, then that's confusing.
Yeah, he's gonna say that he's on G2. Stretch Dragon. And hard. Oh.
It's not even a matter of thinking there would be foul play, because I know that that wouldn't happen. It's just that it's really hard to keep track. Cherry knows all about Shadow Paladins and their moody ways. I want to see if in the next season we have Kanzuki's disciple as the Shadow Paladin player. Like, actually have this person come in and just say, yo, I'm Kanzuki's disciple. That is a 4th. Dude, that is a 4th domain. He loves that. He loves her. He is in love with this card.
That's his waifu.
I mean, there's love and then there's going too far. I think having 4 in the deck is going too far. It's no wonder he almost rode her. Clarent with whole tech is legitimate because you're gonna stride into Diablo things eventually anyway.
Yeah, Diablos are the game finish.
Well, no matter what kind of deck you're using, Diablos are really the offensive Shadow Paladins in general right now.
Yeah.
Like,
sadly,
like Orgeyser Damned tries to be offensive, and it kind of works. But anything it tries to do, Spectral Blaster does better. Or Phantom Blaster.
Yeah. Yeah, like the crit is really there just for if you run that long enough.
It's honestly just there so that the deck can be aggressive. But
yeah.
But if you're running Shadow Paladins, you have Diablos. Phantom Blaster was in the Legend deck. You have no excuse.
Exactly. Plays the border.
Oh, and Vortimer. It is a Clarent Vortimer deck.
See, my thing is, if you play this, you play Spectral, and you play Orgazm Dragon, the amount of soul that you are gonna the amount of soul that you need at the end to do Spectral Stick.
I think that's what Hole is for. Not to mention you still have access to the Taboo Demonic Mage.
Yeah, yeah, I see Fool, but I don't see Titan. Oh.
I mean, not seeing Kaiden means it's still in the deck. You don't run Hole without Kaiden. Like, if he was running Hole without Kaiden, he'd be running Groose. Did he not do the skill?
I think
He didn't do the skill.
Oh yeah, no, he said no with that.
No, I
I'm
understand.
wondering why.
I'm just surprised.
Wait, why didn't he?
Why what?
Why didn't he?
Because it would be his last soul and he doesn't have a way to get more next turn. Or at least he doesn't have the ability to get more in the time that he needs to. So since that was at least 2 hollow units, we can get a ghosty out. I wonder how Cherry feels about the fact that they're still gonna have cards that call out ghosties in the next one. It's like they're making the ghosty into a thing.
Qualification. God's gonna get the little stuff out of Sarah. I can see it. He's gonna fire Sarah's little man. He's in a Spada.
I mean, Cherry, when they have a ghosty that's in the main deck and is above grade 1, then I'll admit that it's a thing. Soul blasted the Pockle. It looks like Cherry's ready to rock and roll. But I mean, the Vanguard's attacking. I don't think Kurosaki has a ghost of a chance in guarding.
He's gonna take. Unless he loves dicks.
And then we have this Negro here hitting for good numbers. And the Cherry tilt.
Let's see how she goes.
So Cherry did have access to GB2, but because she didn't hollow Negro Lazy, there was no point in using it. It is also very smart to not hollow Negro Lazy because... Actually, to be fair, even if she had hollowed it, as long as she has 2 units on the field, she could always just GB2. She could always just GB2 and get one back when it's retired.
So looking at this.
Especially considering that that Blaster Dark Diablo doesn't even look like it's in this deck.
Yeah. This deck is mainly what we're gonna play on. I see it all the time, but I mean, I think he runs the other, not the pirate stuff, but the Diablo stuff.
I think if this was me, I'd bring back Negro Bone. Yeah.
No.
Oh, Cherry's trolling. Cherry is actually trolling. She can bring out whatever she wants. And yeah, she just negated the entire skill of Damned. And since it doesn't have an extra crit, it pretty much did nothing.
What do you mean it doesn't have an extra crit?
Look at the G zone for a minute.
It's the number of physical. I still don't understand why he didn't just.
He didn't use it because he wouldn't have had soul for later.
Man, this is where we have conflict.
The problem is this deck uses this deck as it's structured uses up too much soul. If you're gonna make a deck like this, you have to use Clarence starter because it gives you +1 to soul.
Oh, that's hiding.
I told you it was in the deck. To be honest, I actually used to run a deck similar to this. I just didn't use Hole in it. So Cherry has to reside in the fact that she's not ending the game this turn. But that doesn't mean she's out. That doesn't mean she can't make him guard a lot. Even with the field as it is, she can honestly just hollow everything if she really wanted to. Looking at the situation, I actually feel like Cherry might be in a little bit of trouble, if only because her deck is really low for what she has to do this turn. I mean, she knows how to not get Diablo cheesed, which is really good.
Yeah.
Not gonna hollow that because you don't want a Soul Blast. It's not even a matter of Phantom Blast or Diablo anymore. She just needs to preserve deck. Is there another bone in there? No, there is not.
I would have attacked the Abyss. Yeah, I think he could just secure.
Honestly, the Abyss Summoner would be good to attack, but at the same time, getting rid of the Intercept is better, because she has to at least try to finish it this turn.
Yeah.
There's a critical. She needs 2 in order to make this count, though. Only gets one. Hits the rear guard, so that hurts his resource refueling.
Alright, he can't do like he can't do the
He can't cheese with Phantom Blaster because he doesn't have Blaster Dark Diablo in the deck, so she doesn't have to actually fear that at all.
Yeah. Lord, give me this guy. Lord, give me this one.
No, Cherry, it was no, Cherry, it was okay. It was good to stop. It was good to stop the rear guard because it means he would have gotten more unflips and more soul charges.
He has to retire. Did he already retire something?
He did. He retired Caden.
So
it does mean something because his number of attacks are limited now. He would have had one more if you hadn't done what you did.
This is 3.
He would have had Abyss Summoner still there, and he would have called something from hand there to go with it. He's not calling anything from hand because it's not worth it if it's not boosted.
Not to mention having that third open counter, like he put a superior quality to something else.
What is he going to do with this, though? He's giving it to Vanguard. So if Cherry has another perfect guard, he's actually fine.
Yeah.
He really did misplay that.
Yeah, I would have given him a crit. Yeah.
If all that would have went to rear guard, you probably would have had a difficult time guarding this. Screw. And then a 10k and it's not hitting. Cherry doesn't have to guard this, but probably should. Unless she just plain can't.
Oh no, she can. But now she has to finish this game right now.
Well, she doesn't have to... Ooh. Can you choose not to do that? Can you choose not to do the skill?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, it's a may pay the cost. Got you.
Yeah. If that was a forced skill, oh my god.
I had to look at it for a second because I kind of thought it was. This is Cherry's final turn, one way or another, because she's not going to have enough deck to deal with this afterwards. Don't risk Blizza. Don't risk Blizza. If he has a perfect guard somewhere looming in there, then you're screwed.
Yeah.
Plus, it would be anyway.
Go for your waifu, your douche.
How many PGs are even out of deck that we can count? 1. Wait a minute, what?
Hmm?
Am I looking at this incorrectly, or do I only see 1 in drop zone?
Mm-hmm.
I think I only see 1 PG in drop zone. I feel like I'm looking at that incorrectly.
Yeah, I see the 1 PG in drop as well.
So that means he still has 3.
There's none in the soul, none in the G assist, none in damage. You're getting dropped.
And he only has 9 cards in hand, so he probably drew one before and is just holding it.
Oh, I see what she's gonna do. Oh, right, she still has that.
She still has that, but
I know it lowers her deck count, but I mean,
well, it's fine. She's gonna have one in deck after this anyway, and no matter what happens, she can't survive after this turn because she'll only have two in deck.
he didn't really get a whole lot this turn. He has a 10. I see what she's gonna do, too.
The biggest issue here is she needs to do enough battles in order to make this really worthwhile. I feel like a PG is probably coming down for this Vanguard attack. Wait, why hollow the... Okay, that's what I was gonna say. Why hollow Lazy?
That way she doesn't have to lose her. She doesn't have to lose to him. She can.
I mean, there's no point in hollowing Lazy at this point.
Do you know the cards that are in your deck?
She's gonna die with honor. She dies on her own terms. You know, I'd like for you to crit and win on your own terms. Actually, I have a question.
Only trigger left. What's up?
Where's the one stand?
I don't even know. Orange.
Oh, in her hand. Okay.
Alright, gotcha. Because this guy's getting a little risky.
Yeah, he
He's
did
on PG.
PG.
There it is.
Now, where is it going?
Oh, no, really easy. A heal trigger.
So yeah, Negro Lazy, the entire course of this fight depends on whether or not Negro Lazy can hit.
2 crit. Oh, no.
Wow, just enough.
Barely.
The last card gets soul charged and the game is over. Good games. Cherry kind of had... Cherry was in a good position. I think the only thing that happened was that her deck ran out too fast. And, you know, sometimes that just happens when you're playing Night Rose. I knew there was a PG left in hand, but she did it well. I feel like if she had the ability to get one more attack this turn, like maybe getting out Negro Bone instead of Mimic, then she would have actually been able to get that last hit, maybe.
Kuroblades up now. I think this is.
On to the next game.